from my first proper frost. Can't see anything. I'll say. Wow, that's hot. Look at that. Within literally 5 minutes, that's up on best operated. The logs I got last year from the fuel boats, it must have been a very rainy time, so they were not good at all. And then what I'm firing with now is actually store-bought on sale, £5 for about 10 kilos, very nice. Anyway, they catch on like fucking hell on fire, as you can see. Boat ahoy! It's a little bit chaotic with my videos these days, but I don't think you notice. And so much have happened in a brief amount of time. But I think the last thing I filmed was me trying to start, properly filmed, was me trying to start the engine, or bleed the engine, and saying that I would see if I could find someone to help me. I did walk along the canal, found some boats, I knocked, but there's nobody home. It went downhill again, yet again. It went very downhill. So I stopped trying because it just didn't work and I didn't want to drain the battery anymore. So called my mechanic who came over, and he came over when I wasn't there, and he diagnosed the poor little bugger to have been, I think, to quote his message, it sadly is now a head gasket issue. So my head gasket had blown. I don't know. I don't think that's the right word. There was a hole in it and smoke was coming out, which I can show you right here because he filmed it for me. Thank you. So this is what it looks like. Not very nice. So I was stuck for 3 weeks, I believe. I was on my way back to the dock to fix the hull. I'm starting to think that the problem is because I renamed my boat whilst in water, and call me a bad captain, but I did not know that meant bad luck. So it's called the pacemaker unofficially because it's not really been official. So that's why I'm thinking it can't be that, because it's not official anyway. But that's probably why. Anyway, the day before I was meant to be in the dock, I had a tow. It was weird sitting by my tiller and not moving my tiller. Really bizarre moment, to be honest. So that happened and I got into the dock. Fast forward a bit, because essentially I was in a dock for a while. They did my hull, overplated on the sides. They did that. I came to pick up the boat. So the mechanic was there for the first day, 6 hours till 11 p.m. And then his flashlight started go, so he sort of had to go. And the engine didn't start. And then he came back 2 days later. He still couldn't start it. He seems to think now that the problem is the injector pump. He found a lot of weird things on this engine, so he wasn't like, a lot of problems seem to arise from my head gaskets down trip. I'm waiting to know how much it will be to fix the injector pump and the injectors, because he said there's no point in not sending them away to unclog them, because there was a lot of like ash, carbon inside of them. And then my battery drained, obviously. So that's currently, he took that away and he's charging that somewhere. We're gonna see what happens with if that works. If it doesn't, I'm stuck here for a bit. I'm actually a bit stuck. I'm a bit stuck because he can then see if there's something else, but it will just be a constant trying to figure out what it is and spending lots of money on an engine, as he says, is very old. So do I want to get a new engine? Is the question, which wasn't something I've ever thought I needed. And then it gets into, but this boat is very old, the hull is pretty shit. Is it worth it to get a new engine? Not a new, like a refurbished one, which I think if I'm lucky, it's about £5,000 with a new engine and installing it. And the other thing is I'm currently in a pontoon next to the dock, which they've allowed me to stay for a bit, but I don't know how long, to be honest. Currently I have water here and I feel quite safe. It's a gated thing, which is nice. So he's given me a cable so I can charge one thing at a time, and he's also charging my leisure batteries because they've seen better days. That's nice. I can charge my phone because there's no sun and I don't have the alternator, you know, I don't have the engine running, so that was a bit of a... The other good thing is, because I have access to running water quite a lot, I can take long showers. Downside is I'm very far away from friends and work, so I would rather not live here. To live here for a year would actually be more expensive than to get a new engine. So, you know, there's all these questions and there's stuff that needs to be fixed. I have a leaky window. My water tank, as we've seen, is full of rust, which should be fixed at one point. So there's expenses. As mentioned, don't get a boat. But I don't regret it. I really don't regret it. I really love living on this boat. Even today, when I woke up, oh my God, woke up, it was -4 outside. Inside, the thermometer couldn't measure how cold it was, so I'm guessing it was -2. Anyway, currently content, warm, and I have lots of water, so I'm cleaning like no tomorrow. And the first thing I did when I got that extension cord and could charge something, I charged my vacuum cleaner. I think I'm obsessed. So that's that. I think that's that. Boat ahoy. Chip ahoy. I do have lots of crisps as well because I just came from Norway. So, you know, that's something to think about and be grateful for. Chip ahoy, crisp ahoy, boat ahoy, not land ahoy. That's a first for him. Look at this. So I suppose the news update is that my mechanic was here. Woo, woo, woo. Again, I see him more than friends. I see him more than family. I see him more than anyone because I'm pretty much just locked inside this boat behind closed gates. So he came and tested a couple of things because we weren't sure if it was the injector pump or the injectors. So he came to test a few things. My battery, my starter battery had been charging, so because that was not charged, so it didn't really help our case. Turns out it is a dead battery pretty much, because it hasn't been properly charged. Problem for, I don't know what its life cycle was before I got the boat, but it was with me obviously not having a functioning alternator, and it's not connected to the solar setup, so rip. He had a booster with him, so at least we could try other things. So he warmed up he did some kind of manual way of warming up the engine. We were looking at the glow plugs because, again, it keeps coming back to these glow plugs and they're not actually, even though I changed it into a bad brand. I don't know, because they weren't getting hot. And luckily, because I have so many glow plugs on this boat, we had some old ones that we had some new ones that hadn't been used, and I think maybe one of them was used but changed for no reason. So we put those back in, and now they're all getting pretty much, he said, about 35 degrees on the outside. So my beautiful work in this video, or previous, who knows, was for naught. Next step now is he took the injectors with him. He's going to test those and hope, it's sad that that's the reality at the moment, we hope there's something wrong with them. Because if there is, we don't necessarily have to take out the injector pump, which seems to be a bigger ordeal because of how the engine room is. And now you can enjoy some footage of me reacting to the engine nearly starting. So close. I wonder if this is a new video. It's all just chaos at the moment, which is why I'm cleaning a lot in the boat and tidying up a lot. That's my way of coping. Like, this boat has never been more organized. That's what I meant to do. So that's that for now. Well, obviously there's more problems in my boat. This is a tiny one, I hope, and I've just borrowed this from my neighbor. This is a bike pump, but with a pressure thing. So my accumulator has no pressure in it, so we need to add some pressure. And I hope this is easy. I hope this is a good one, you know. I hope this is like making me feel like something is functioning in this boat, or will be functioning. Nice. So off with the cap. Hopefully there's space. Yeah. Well, is it? There isn't. Why is everything I do difficult and then everyone else does it and it's easy? Yeah. Get this boy on again. This is exciting, isn't it? Now, I don't know what I'm doing. It's not doing anything. Are you gonna... Fuck. That was unexpected. So what do we do? Is that working? That's so bizarre. Let's see what we're dealing with. No, that's not done it. Okay, so what I didn't do, or what I had to do, was go here, 31, because this pump is 35 psi, so this should be a bit less, he said, between 30 and 32, which I would say is 31, and then, but it's not doing anything. It's going slowly down. I don't know what that means. Okay, let's leave it at that. 32. Okay, I'll take it out here. I don't see why it shouldn't work now. I don't need no problems in my life. It's not doing it. That's worse. Why is it like that? Okay. Didn't work. I don't know, maybe it shouldn't. I'm thinking like, oh, should I not use an electric one because it's so powerful, blah, 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 blah. I don't know, maybe I've ruined it, you know. It's not disastrous, it's just annoying. So, mechanic was here yesterday again. That's the third time I saw him this week. And we are so close to starting her. We've got the new injectors in, beautiful. The glow plugs are all glowing right, but as you can see here, she's not quite starting. He's communicating, counseling. No, he's talking to some colleagues to see if it's what it is. I feel sorry for a mechanic as well, because like his job is to fix things and it's just not happening. So sad. Everyone's sad, but whatever. There's not actually, I was thinking about this boat, there's nothing properly functioning at the moment. The water pump as well, it's better. It's not pulsating like this, it's pulsating like this. So I think that means that it just needs the right pressure. Like, it just didn't, the electric one just couldn't do it. So I'm waiting to see if I can get a manual one and try again. And then, like, I was thinking, oh, my stove, thank God for my stove. My stove is heating up, and I've got so much logs now, and it's all very nice. But I did pay over £100 to service her. So it's not like that came with no problems either. So I do wonder if there's anything on this boat that's sort of functioning at the moment. I mean, my solar panels are working, but there's just no sun, so I feel like it's not like a relief. because it doesn't do anything at the moment. I mean, I'm sitting at a table. The table is being a table. It is the small joys that I have to see at this point. I think that's it. Actually, my gas stove for cooking, no problems, 0 problems. And I also think I've been worried about this. This is my carbon monoxide thing, and it's never gone off, which is good. But I haven't even, I can't remember having properly tried it, like clicked it, which I'm pretty sure I have, but I just can't remember it. Anyway, I tried today and it seems to be working, and the expiry isn't before the 2027. So, you know, it seems like then my gas stove is actually working, which is, you know, I've had a fear of dying of carbon monoxide poisoning and then nobody finding me. I'm thinking, like, how many days will it take? Because, like, who do I talk to who will notice? I think it would take about two days, which is actually quite quick. But even then, I think I don't think it will be confirmed within 2 days that, yeah, she's dead, because people have to get here and it's going to be a bit of a, you know. So that's what I'm thinking about. I mean, I do see this mechanic every other day, so I suppose he would notice. So that's good. That's good. You know, in all of this distress, at least he's coming here to make sure that I'm not dead. I mean, that's not his job, but that's a bonus, I suppose. Tip ahoy. Charging ahoy.